Hey, hi, hello. Okay, welcome to the anticipated new releases little video. I just want to say two things. One, if you hear a leaf blower, I'm so sorry. It too sends me into a rage. And two, if you hear my neighbors stomping around, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I too find it incredibly annoying. What I have here is my handy dandy notebook, and it's got a couple of books that I'm interested in that are to release anytime between now and like February of 2026. So I'm attempting to screen record. So if this works, I'll become a tiny little blob on the screen and you'll have all of the screen recording from my laptop. And if not, the books will just go here, and I will be looking at my handy dandy notebook to let you know what these are. Okay, so first is If Not For My Baby. This is a romance that I didn't know existed until the buy one get one sale, and it's about a girl who I believe comes from like a small town in Texas, and she ends up like having an opportunity with like a giant Irish pop star. Sounds fun. I realized that I think I'm into musical romances. Didn't see that one on the docket for me. Then we have The Entanglement of Rival Wizards. Okay, I saw this and I was like, this looks like some sort of fanfic for something. But this one is essentially, it's from the same author who did, what did she do? The Nightmare Before Christmas and Go Luck Yourself. And I'm very excited for this one. It's just Rival Wizards. It says Allie Hazelwood meets Dungeons and Dragons in this enemies to lovers fantasy academia rom-com where rival grad student wizards are forced to work together without killing or falling for each other. Dun dun dun. Will they conjure love or evoke chaos? I don't know, but it sounds like a delightful time to be alive. Then, of course, we have Calabasas. Calabasas? I don't really know. This, I feel like if I need to explain this to you, the blurb that it just has is Dante's Infernos meets Susanna Clark's Carnessi in the all-new dark academia fantasy from R.F. Kuang. Calabasas, noun, ancient Greek, the story of a hero's descent into the underworld. All I know is that she said this is a love story, and I fear I will be in pain and devastation. But I'm looking forward to this one. I'm actually going to a book event for this. Cheers. This one, you've seen me, heard, and talk about it. It's literally Kiss the Villain. The only reason it's on here is because the paperback came out in March, apparently, and I had not read this by then, and so therefore was unaware. However, they pulled it because I think she's starting to get trad published now. And so this is getting republished traditionally, because I guess she was indie beforehand. So the new paperback comes out next month. Then we have, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. I was searching because, in a little secret, I did like a wee bit of research. I'm not in the book community well enough or know what I need enough to actually get like a multitude of like new release information. But I found this one, To Clutch a Razor, which is book 2 to Among Crows. Is that what it's called? When Among Crows. Oh my gosh. I love that book so much. I think that was like one of my top books of 2024 or 2023. I can't remember. But this is the sequel. It just says, a funeral, a heist, a mission born of desperation. I'm very excited. Oh my god, I can't wait. A brother, a traitor, a monster. Oh my gosh. I'm pumped because I love that book. I need that book to be like an additional 100 pages. I can't wait. I hope this is as good as the first one. Then we just have the sequel to A Tempest of Tea, which is A Steeping of Blood. This is a vampire YA duology. Well, I guess should I say vampire? This one just says the epic conclusion of A Tempest of Tea by Hassa Faisal. The gritty fantasy duology about an orphan girl and her crew who get tangled in a heist with vampires, perfect for fans of Lee Bardugo's Six of Crows. Yep. She's had her tea. Now she's out for blood. Yeah. It was fun. So I'm looking forward to this one. Also, girl. Soul Searching. I'm so pumped. I wish I was a bigger creator or a more important person in the world, because the way I want this arc, even though this one's coming out in like, I think a month and a half, so it's really not that serious. Or 2 months. I don't know exactly when this is coming out in September, but I think it's coming out in September. I can't even. Okay, home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. Like, can you believe I can't? This one just says, the #1 best times selling author of Rebel Blue Rant series returns with a brand new story featuring a small town upholsterer in need of a fresh start. A photographer whose life has come to a screeching halt, and the supernatural forces that bring them together. I can't wait. When she talked about this at her event, I'm pumped. I'm excited. Let's freaking go. This one might take you by surprise that I'm excited for. And it's Holly, which is a holiday novella for the Belladonna series. I feel like I don't ever really talk about the fact that I read that whole series and I really enjoyed it. Oh, I loved me some Death and Signa. And honestly, I loved the 3rd book even more than the 1st book. So I'm excited. Will this have anything like super fun in it? Probably not. It's just, it says a mysterious and magical holiday novella set in the romantic, gothic, infused world of Belladonna. So here we are. That comes out. Surprisingly, I don't think this comes out around Christmas. I think it comes out in like September. A Mouthful of Dust. Okay, here's the thing. I feel like if maybe I've had these conversations with myself, and maybe not just with the camera or the internet, but I have like a love neutral vibe for the Singing Hill cycle. I feel like I've read 2, 3, 4 and been like, meh, like interesting enough to read and to pick up, but not something that I love. However, 5 was my absolute favorite. It hooked me, and I was like in that novella the whole time. I didn't put it down. So I'm very excited for A Mouthful of Dust. This one says, hunger makes monsters in this dark new tale. And I'm just excited. He seems to be They seem to be trapped in a mansion of sorts, and they've got to figure out what really happened during a famine. I cannot wait. Honestly, this is probably my favorite cover of all 6 books. Then we have Savage Blooms, which I did not know was a thing that was coming out, but it says Wuthering Heights meets The Cruel Prince in the new Celtic-inspired erotic fantasy romance. So I said, sign me up. And here we are. There's not much more to say about that. Then we have, I know, I'm sorry. I liked Mate. I didn't like Mate. I haven't read Mate. I liked Bride. I did. I ate it up. It was a good time. It was fun. So I'm pumped for Mate, which is What's-Her-Face's, like, friend. I can't wait. Give it to me now. That's all. It's a shifter romance, paranormal. She's a werehuman. I don't really know. It's all, sometimes I'm just like, sometimes you just want silly books. Here we are. Okay. This one, I have to give like a tiny little asterisk. Our Devious Descent. I'm excited for it because I own, what is it? This Ravenous Fate. And this is book 2. And I didn't want to read book 1 until I have book 2. Because I'm getting to the point where sometimes I'm just like not in the mood to be left cliffhangered. Is that a word? I don't think it is, but it's a feeling. And so I'm very pumped that this one is coming out because then I can read that one and then immediately dive deep into this. And I'm pumped. And this is just Harlem Vampires. Because it says in the stunning conclusion to the best-selling Ravenous Fate duology, Elsa Saint and Lila Quinn must discover the truths behind an alluring poison and the monstrous new presence ravishing New York City. Then we have Good Spirits, which I'm pumped about. Not that I'm a Christmas girly, because I am absolutely positively not. This is just simply, he's the ghost of Christmas past, but she's not exactly Scrooge. And I don't know. I'm pumped to see a Christmas ghost and a human fall in love. Who wouldn't be? Also because I really enjoyed First Time Caller. That's the only B.K. Morrison book I've read. And I was like, ooh, girl, sign me up. Then we have Girl Dinner. Here's the thing. I keep buying Olivia Blake's books. Don't tell me, I don't know why. I got into her during her fanfic days. And that's how I came to read her books. And I really do like One for My Enemy and Alone with You in the Ether. Have I finished Gifted and Talented? No. Or Masters of Death? No. Or something else. Because I have finished her like short story like bind up. I really like that. However, Girl Dinner is basically like, you know, let's see. It just says, Girl Dinner is a darkly fun novel about power, lust, and eating your fill as wealthy moms and sorority girls practice a sinister new wellness trend. Good girls deserve a treat. I don't know. I think I might be interested in... I just have it on here because, like, why not? You know what I didn't like about from Ollie Blake's? The Atlas 6. And that might have been because the audiobooks were horrible. And then, oh my gosh, okay. I feel like this like got big and then people started really being critical of it, of like how it's really not that great. But I read The Will of the Mini before it like blew up. I think I literally read it publication month. It was just something casually at my like library and I just picked it up for giggles. And I ate that shenanigans up. So I'm pumped for The Strength of You. I've been waiting at this point years for this. So I'm excited. Tell me why. And then there's nothing I can really tell you because it just says he grapples with a dangerous secret that could unravel history across alternate dimensions. Because if you've read The Will of Many, it ends on quite the cliffhanger. I was like, what? So I've been waiting, dear James, for this. And now it's coming out and I'm pumped. Is it November yet? I don't think so. And then this is 2026. Here are like the next 3 books that I'm just like kind of pumped for in 2026. Is of course The New Wayward Children's Through Gates of Garnet and Gold, which is following Nancy. I guess something happens. She's already in her statuesque place if you've read the series, and I guess something is going on. And she's going to come back to gather her friends to like figure out who's causing the mayhem. So there's that. Then, oh, we have Throne of Midnight. Okay, hear me out. Or don't. Or do. I loved, what was it? Throne of Secrets? Was that the first one? Whatever the first, like, grown-up Prince of Sins. Actually, let me click this. Let's see. Throne of the Fallen. That one ate it up. Loved it. Delicious. Now, Throne of Secrets. What was that, girly? What were these things? What were the dragons? It felt like too much plot, babes. And you did that. I think she also did the thing that I absolutely hate, is where they say some things. Here's what I hate. If you... Come here. If you tell me that the characters are into some things and are vibing some way, and have certain fantasies, and yet it never makes it to paper, I want to physically fight you. Isn't that, like, called something? Like, what is that called? Like, okay, I could be wrong. But that thing where, like, if you mention, it's like, Shavas, something's gun. Like, if you say gun or show a gun, the gun then has to be used later in the scene. Isn't that something about theater? And I feel like the same thing should be writing. If you bring it up, and you make mention of it, provide the scene, babes. Anyways, I think that happened. And I find that is a very common trait among authors, is they just like breadcrumb you and then they don't show it. And it pisses me off. Anyways. Throne of Nightmares is supposed to be... Let me see. Who is it? It's the Prince of Sloth. Because Secrets was Gluttony. Fallen was... Who was Fallen? Let's see. Let's take the side tangent. Envy. Anyways, I'm pumped. I'm ready. I love... These books are like 500 pages. And I love it because I read the YA trilogy for, what is it? Kingdom of the Wicked? Girl, that went off the rails. What was she doing? And then last but not least, I have And Now, Back to You, which is like the second standalone in this like Seattle. Is it Seattle? Baltimore, like radio station, news network type dealio. This one is literally just second book in the Heartstrings series about a radio station. weatherman falling for his chaotic weatherwoman counterpart in a storm-chasing, newsworthy romance. So, we have it here, folks. Those are simply just a handful of books that I'm looking forward to. If you have any sort of recommendations for me to be able, like, are people signed up to newsletters that tell you, like, new releases? Or how does one find, like, I want to be able to find more new releases. Also, diversify my, like, reading a bit more, because, like, I have some, like, BIPOC authors and, like, some BIPOC stories, but I feel like I really want more in here, and I don't know exactly, like, perhaps, like, the niche places to go to find this, because, like, I'm typing in, like, new releases and providing Google to just, like, give me, like, listicles. So if you know a better way to find more niche things than, like, typing into Google minus the AI, and even then, still, like, I don't know how other people find these, but my battery's about to go, so I'll let you go. Anyways, I guess if you want to, and you feel like it, you can comment down below with what's one of the books you're interested in the next, like, coming 6 to 9 months. Feel free, or don't. Do whatever feels right in your bones. But I'll let you guys go. All right. See you in the next one. Bye.